Hey guys, it is April from Getting Hogo With It. Today I have my July book haul for you. I got 12 books in July and I really want to share them with you, so let's get into it. So the first book that I picked up was Swimming Lessons by Claire Fuller. I've been meaning to read Claire Fuller for a while, and this book is about a woman who is having marital problems, but she just can't express it to her husband. So she writes him little notes. She puts them in all of his books, and he has like a very extensive library. I think it's thousands of books or something. And then she disappears. And her daughter just doesn't believe that her mom is really dead. And she comes home like 20 years after her mother has left, and she's taking care of her injured father, and the questions begin to form in her mind. And here she is, literally surrounded by all of the answers. I'm intrigued as to whether or not she personally is able to find out what the answers are, or whether that's just something that the readers get a glimpse of. So it sounds really, really great, and I'm eager to read it. I also grabbed Half of a Yellow Sun. Now this is about 1960s Nigeria and war, and we follow 5 characters and the different ways that they deal with the war. I've been meaning to read Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie for a very long time, and I'm really hoping that this is a good place to start. I am just so eager to read her finally because she's supposed to be amazing. I also got The Deep by Nick Cutter. Now this is my book selection for August's Dying to Read book club. I don't know if you know about that, but I started a little group where we're going to read like horror books and thrillers over on Goodreads. I'm gonna link that below. I would love for you to join, so please do. This sounds super creepy. It is about a plague that makes people forget things. So at first they're forgetting things like where they put their keys, and then they're forgetting things like how to move their bodies, and there's no cure. So there is a research group that go underwater, and they have a little lab underwater because apparently in the ocean there is this substance called ambrosia that's supposed to maybe cure it. And then all hell breaks loose in the lab. I am so excited to read this. I'd love for you guys to join the Goodreads group called Dying to Read. And this is our August pick, so come on over and read with us. Next, I picked up Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This is the only Jane Austen that I didn't own on my shelves. I have not read this. I have to do some work on Jane Austen because I still haven't read, obviously, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, Emma. Emma was on my spring TBR and I didn't get to it, so I am glad to have them on my shelves because I do love Jane Austen. I just need to sit down with a classic. It's a little bit harder to get me to sit down with a classic for some reason, but I really want to, and this is such a sweet story. This is about the Dashwood sisters, their love for each other, finding romantic love in their lives as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I also got Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk. Now, this seems really interesting. It is a novel, but it's made up of 23 stories. So apparently these stories are told by people who have answered an ad for a writer's retreat and unwittingly joined a survivor-like scenario. It's like a reality show gone terribly wrong. It sounds kind of funny, honestly, and probably a little horrifying and gross at the same time, so who knows? If you've read this book, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. I picked up The Sacrifice by Joyce Carol Oates. This is about a racial crime against a 14-year-old girl in New Jersey. Now, apparently there is a lot of racial tension that has been building and simmering in this place for a very long time, and then this crime happens and the city kind of goes crazy. They react. I feel like this would be a an important kind of book to read right now. And I've never read any Joyce Carol Oates, so I'm starting here. I also grabbed The Robber Bride by Margaret Atwood. This is about 3 women who have been affected in their own ways by a woman named Xenia. So this is a woman they first met at university in the 60s. So this woman comes into their lives, she like betrays their trust, kind of just causes a huge ruckus, and then years later, even though everyone has thought she was dead, she appears again, and I am eager to find out what she did to ruin all of these women's lives and what happens when she reappears. Sounds good, and it's Margaret Atwood, so you know it's going to be a good one. I also picked up Big Brother by Lionel Shriver. Now, Lionel Shriver wrote We Need to Talk About Kevin. This sounds like it's going to be a quite sad book. This is about a woman who is going to pick up her brother at the airport, and she hasn't seen him in a while, and when she does see him, she doesn't recognize him because he's become morbidly obese. And she is struggling to find out what happened to her brother, who used to be really fit and happy-go-lucky, and that's gone now. And she wants to save him because if she doesn't, he will most likely die because he is morbidly obese. I am eager to read this. I have been pretty much every weight in the world. I've been 250 and I've been, 150. I'm really hoping that this is tastefully done because obesity is very poorly portrayed in society, and I'm very leery about reading anything or watching anything that doesn't keep that in mind and isn't sensitive to that topic. So this was a total gamble. I am hoping that it's going to be good. I also grabbed The Vacationers by Emma Straub. I have never read Emma Straub before. This might be my most favorite book cover now. Like, it is stunning. This is about family secrets, old wounds reopening, and it sounds like just a really good family drama that takes place over the course of the summer. Now, summer is going to be nearly over pretty soon, and August is pretty jam-packed. But next summer, I think this is going to go down. I also grabbed The Knife of Never Letting Go. You know me, and I am very leery of YA. However, I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and I loved it. And I am hoping that this book series is going to be another one that I love by him. This is about a little boy who lives in this community where everyone can read each other's thoughts. Literally every thought you have, they can read it. One day he actually meets a little girl outside of this little town that he lives in, and he can't read her thoughts. And they create this interesting friendship, and I'm kind of eager to read this one. I picked up Cutting for Stone exclusively because Anne Bogle at the Modern Mrs. Darcy blog has raved about it. So that's literally the only reason I picked it up. I don't know too much about it. I know that this follows a set of twins, and it follows their coming of age story in Ethiopia. I am really hoping that it's good. I mean, Anne Bogle is never really wrong, so I had to get it when I saw it on sale for like $1 at my library. Yes, please. Finally, I got Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. This is about a guy who has left a high-tech job and he decides to work at this bookstore. But he notices that people aren't really coming into the store regularly. It's pretty dead. And then when people do come in, they ask for very obscure titles and they just borrow the books. And something is going on at this bookstore and he's gonna get to the bottom of it. So those are all of the books that I picked up in July. Let me know what book you were most excited about picking up in July. I'd love to know. And I'll see you next time. Bye!